This is my 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pound torque tuned 2020 Audi S3. It is stage 2 with integrated engineering, if anybody's familiar with this platform. And as you can see, we got a lot of snow. So I just wanted to do a quick video and basically show you guys what the S3 is like in this kind of weather. I'm in Canada and we do get a lot of snow here. I'm in Ontario, and this is actually, it's a little more than we typically get, but I'm grateful because we don't get this often, and it is really fun to come out and just drive around, obviously safely. But yeah, you can see we have probably 5-6 inches of snow in this parking lot, and I'm just going to take a quick drive and kind of talk through what it's like to own a modified Audi S3 in a place where you get a lot of snow. Let me trek back to the car. Gotta tap the feet off. All right, so hopefully I don't get stuck because stepping out of the car, I didn't realize when I came into this parking lot that there was this much snow. But I have traction control off because the first thing, and the most important thing, I think to do when you have a lot of snow is to go to an empty parking lot and make sure your car is capable of doing donuts. So this car is all-wheel drive, if you're familiar. It touts the Quattro badge here, but it's actually not Quattro, unfortunately. This is the Haldex system, which is shared with the Volkswagen Golf R. But I have the badge, so I pretend it's Quattro. But let's see how the Haldex system does in a completely snowed-in parking lot. All right, I don't think it did too bad. Let me just try to find my way out of here. Man, you could really hear those intake sounds too. I really love this car. If you've seen any of my videos, you probably have a pretty good understanding. I gotta keep the windows off. You probably have a pretty good understanding of how much I enjoy this car. And it's not very often that I actually get the chance to come out and, you know, test it out and put it to the test in these kind of conditions. But I came from about 5 years of driving rear-wheel drive cars all year round. So the last car that I owned was a 6th gen 2019 SS 1 Elite Camaro, and it was manual. Well, the last 3 cars that I owned were all manual. They were all rear-wheel drive. So it is really nice to come to a platform that is all-wheel drive for, you know, a year-round daily driver. And my fiance also drives this car. She can't drive manual, so she wasn't able to drive my previous cars, which was one of the things that I didn't like about those cars. And she drives the car that she owns is a 2014 Honda Civic, and it's not the greatest in the winter. It's not bad, obviously, front wheel drive, but this thing honestly has been just an absolute machine in any weather that I have put it through. And I don't have issues driving rear wheel drive cars in the winter just because I have so much experience with it, and I grew up in Canada. I'm used to the snow, and you just need to make sure that you're driving for your conditions, obviously. But even as I'm going through these roads right here, this road is good, obviously, it's nice and plowed, but it still is really slushy. There's a WRX there. But this car, I have felt completely confident leaving the house in any weather. Like, it doesn't matter if there's a blizzard, if there's a rainstorm, any weather that I have put this thing through, it has made me feel extremely confident. And obviously I am never driving irresponsibly, regardless of the conditions, but I do have the confidence to just take this thing out on the road if I have to, regardless of what the conditions are. And it is, the Haldex system is front wheel biased, so the power is going to the front wheels most of the time, and it will send power to the rear if it deems necessary. But I have never gotten stuck in this thing. I've never even felt like I was gonna get stuck in this thing. I have gotten stuck in the past in rear wheel drive cars, and you know, it didn't happen too often just because I was pretty comfortable with those, with rear wheel drive cars, and I kind of understood the limits and, you know, what I should and shouldn't be doing. But with this car, it's been so refreshing to have a day like today where we basically got a blizzard all night, and I had absolutely no concerns with hopping in the car and taking it out and going to a parking lot that has 6 inches of snow that hasn't even been plowed yet, and just having a little fun, you know? So if anybody's thinking about buying a car, and you're, well, buying this car specifically, and you're wondering how it's gonna do in the winter, and I haven't driven a WRX, for example, in the snow, and I know those, the WRXs are famous for being really great in the winter, but I don't know how this could be. It could be better for sure, I'm sure, but for me, I don't need a better car for the winter than this. And the only thing that I could see being an issue is like maybe a clearance thing, if there was so much snow piled up and it wasn't like soft enough to plow through. But even with like 6+ inches of snow, I have been able to plow through it in this thing. It's just, it's gotten me through anything that I've thrown at it. Obviously, a good set of winter tires are going to be necessary, but if you are living in a place where you get snow, then you probably understand that anyways. These tires, I'm not even sure what they are. They're not a super well-known or crazy snow tire. I bought them secondhand off of Facebook Marketplace, and they've been great. And I'm also on my 19-inch wheels. So these are 19-inch, it's the stock Audi Sport wheels that came on the car with the black optics package. So I'm running my winter setup with my 19 inches. And then in the summer, funny enough, I have 18 inches. And the reason I dropped down to 18s was because the roads here aren't the greatest. But even on 19-inch wheels, lower profile winter tire, this car has been absolutely amazing. I have no complaints whatsoever, and I would say if you're thinking about getting this car and you're wondering if it's going to perform well in the winter, I'd say the answer is absolutely 100%. This thing is great in the winter. I really miss these kind of winters too. I grew up, I'm 37 years old now, and as I mentioned, I'm in Ontario. This kind of thing was a lot more common back when I was a kid. At least that's what my memory is telling me. But, you know, things are a little weird these days, and winters haven't really been winters over the last few years. We'll get the occasional kind of snow here and there throughout the winter, but for the most part, they've been really mild. We'll get super cold weather sometimes, but we'll go like a couple months even without really getting any real snow. So this is really nice. I do miss this, and I wouldn't like it as much if I had to commute like a great distance to go to work, and I sympathize for people that have to do that. I don't know how people are doing that. It's really freaking respectable in my opinion. I'm very fortunate and I work from home, so I only have to come out here when I want to, basically, unless something comes up and I'm forced to get out of the house. But yeah, it's really nice to see snow again. It makes me feel like the world is right to see a snow like this in Canada. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say, guys. The Audi S3, even with 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pound torque, this thing is a beast in the winter. And I'm just gonna do a U-turn here so I can head back home. This car is so much fun. All right, I'm gonna end the video there. Thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in more Audi S3 content, I'm going to continue posting as always. I'm also posting some fitness content now. And if you guys have any requests, any questions about the car or fitness or anything, feel free to drop me a comment. If you enjoy the content, of course, feel free to subscribe and follow along, and I will see you guys in the next video.